So during the pandemic, Ali started this, PPS case competition platform at Cornell post-graduation. And I started my DCRE, Diversity CRE, YouTube channel, website, all that to highlight individuals in the industry that weren't being highlighted. And next thing you know, coming out of the pandemic, my platform's full-fledged. I got a lot of great content on there if you guys have already seen. And Ali obviously is hosting has an amazing team that helped him host an amazing event in PPS. And so now we're combining forces like the Avengers, and we're following up with people like yourself. So we appreciate your participation. And we plan to do this every year going forward. So right now, unknown, about to be known, and then going forward, everybody's gonna know. So I guess that's the best way to segue into introductions for each of you all. So if you guys want to start introducing yourselves, just give me your name, where you're from, your year in school and major.
Okay, so I am Taja Tuggle. I am a senior at FAMU. I'm from Covington, Georgia, and my major is facilities management.
Cool.
Greetings, my name is Ivan Hopkins. I'm a fourth-year business administration scholar from Ocala, Florida, and my major is business admin.
Awesome.
Greetings, I am Keanu Capers. I am a third-year business administration scholar hailing from Lakeland, Florida.
And good afternoon, I am Rashmina Ratnaswamy. I'm a senior business administration scholar at Florida A&M University, and I am majoring in business administration.
Okay, so everyone's from Florida except for, and where you say you were from again?
I'm from Covington, Georgia, so it's about like 35 minutes.
So everybody kind of stayed local, kind of stayed in the home state or near the home state. Growing up, was FAMU always the destination? Like, how did you all end up at FAMU?
No.
Okay.
So originally I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. And when I got down here to Florida, my dream school was NYU.
Okay, cool.
Yes, that was my dream school. I was like, I'm gonna travel, I'm gonna go around the world. But then I started learning about HBCUs, and my teacher in high school, she started taking us on trips to FAMU and stuff and telling us about FAMU. And I knew I wanted to go to HBCU, so I only applied to one school, and that was FAM, and that's how I chose it.
Okay, anyone else?
For me, I knew I wanted to go to a HBCU. So my dream school was actually Howard. And then I went up there and I visited it twice. And I was like, oh no, I cannot go to school.
Hold on. I might have to edit that out. Oh,
yeah, and you might have to. But I was like, I cannot go to school here. Like, it's cold. I'm gonna be 8 hours away from my mama. No.
Okay.
And so I'm like, I don't know where I'm gonna go to school. And I was gonna just settle and go to UGA because I had a scholarship there, but I really did not want to go to a PWI. Like, I really want to go to HBCU. Okay. And so my mom, she was like, let's go to FAMU. And I was like, no, I don't want to go to school in Florida. Like, Florida's terrible.
Oh.
And then I went down there and I fell in love with the campus, and they have a really good business program. And I was just like, Mom, this is where I'm going to school. And she was like, I'm glad, like, she was so happy, like, that I just found somewhere I wanted to go. But that's how I got to FAMU, because I knew I wanted to be out of state and I knew I wanted to go to HBCU.
Yeah, I'm going to interject there. So I'm glad you kind of spelled that out for us, because what you think you want to do at first may not be what you actually end up doing until you actually get on campus and have an experience, right? So you didn't, when you got on Howard's campus, you switched it up like, oh no, Georgia, UGA is a great school, but maybe not for you. But it wasn't until you got to FAMU, even though thinking FAMU is not for you, when you got there, you're like, okay, this is great. So I think that's a great positive note. We want all the kids watching this to understand, maybe even younger high school kids, you got to get to the campus before you make that final decision on where you want to go for the rest of your 4 years of college. So next up, who else wants to jump on? Tell me why you ended up at FAMU.
Keanu, you want me to go? We're gonna do ladies gonna go first for all the questions, and then we'll go. And then okay. So I actually started off as a student athlete. I was playing basketball at a smaller school.
Okay.
Thomasville, Georgia. That's like, it's only like 45 minutes away from Tallahassee. It's only 45 minutes away from FAM.
Okay.
And, it just didn't work out. So I went home for a little bit, and, it was about getting my associates. And then I was, talking to my mom because when you have your associates, you can pretty much go to any school in Florida.
Mhm.
So most of my uncles and aunts had went to either UCF or UF, and my uncle got his master's from UF, and he's been kind of like my mentor, and he was telling me how he just felt like his career would have been farther along if he went to a HBCU. You know, So he was like, as long as you go up there and just build your network and meet new people, I think you'll be fine and you'll be able to, go out of school with a good job and a career. So I just chose FAMU from there. I just kind of took his guidance, went on a visit, smaller numbers in the classroom instead of UF or UCF, where it's like more of a bigger school. So it was just a great decision and great position for me, not too far away from home.
Okay.
So I ended up there.
All right, Mr. Capers, what about you?
Yeah, so my story is kind of similar to everyone else's. You don't really pick FAMU at first. My first decision was not UCF, it was USF.
Okay.
I applied to USF and I got accepted, but it was to the St. Petersburg campus. So I was like, no. I would rather be at Tampa, because Tampa, it was kind of like a close to home type thing. It's only around like 30, 40 minutes from Lakeland. But I ended up having a trip to Orlando it was like a college meet where FAMU was hosting a, meet and greet and event. And I went out there and the energy was just like amazing. And I don't know if this was a telltale sign that FAMU was meant for me. I didn't know at that time that FAMU was meant for me, but there was like a QR code you had to scan to get like a gift card. And I guess I was the first person to scan it. So I got like $50 gift card. I was first place. I was like, wow, cool. But I didn't really think like, oh, this is my school until following up, I had just applied and it went through. And I was like, hey, let me give it a shot. And I'm happy with everything that came from it.
All right, cool, awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have Mr. Ali Day on the conversation. Welcome him. He's the founder of Philip.
I like the orange.
I like the colors.
Go ahead and clap it up for Ali. He knows how to join a FAMU conversation. Go ahead and clap it up, Ali.
Oh, that's great.
All right. So I think that's a good segue. Ali, you're still on mute, but I think that's a good segue for us to go into the conversation about the PPS case competition and 3-day event. So let me know, or tell me how you guys heard about this competition. How did you guys come together, join forces to compete in this?
Yeah, so basically one day I go to LinkedIn and I'm just scrolling and
hold on. Shout out to LinkedIn, y'all. Shout out to LinkedIn. Pop up on LinkedIn real quick.
Yeah, for sure.
That tool for real. So I'm at LinkedIn and I'm just seeing messages. And this man, Ali Day, he just messaged me and he sent me the flyer and he was like, you should do this. And I'm like, I should do this. I click on the flyer. I'm like, case competition. I never did a case competition. I don't know if I'm gonna do it. Right. Then I was like, no, I could do it. So I messaged him. I'm like, all right. And then I'm thinking, who can I put on my team? Like, I don't know nobody. Like, I never did a case competition. Like, I don't know. And I was like, Taja, I could have Taja on my team. She's smart. And then I was thinking, Keanu kept saying he did case competitions and he be winning. So I was like, Keanu got to be on our team. We got to have somebody else smart. And then I was like, we're missing one person. Like, we need more help. And as we was going through the program, everybody was saying that we need 4 people. Like, it's too much work for 2 people. It's too much work for 3 people. We need 4 people. So we was like, a couple weeks in, maybe even a month, and we didn't even find Ivan yet. And then we was at our Club Real event, and we was like, we need somebody. So we started calling Ivan. We was texting Ivan. Taja was texting him, and we was just seeing like if he can come. And he was like, yeah. So then we start practicing, working on it day and night. Like, we was working hard on this project. But that's how it started, but that's just history.
That's what's up. And we got, looks like we have another attendee, Mr. Gerard Delaney. Gerard, you there?
Hello.
Hey, what's going on? So if you guys probably know Gerard. He was the judge at the event. Yeah, so he's a FAMU alum.
Yeah.
Also an NYU grad. Development manager at NCV Capital. Now he has his own company, Legacy Development. And I think, Gerard, on LinkedIn, I saw that you just completed your first development in DC. Am I right?
Yes, we did a ribbon cutting in DC. 100% affordable housing building.
Woo! All right, y'all clap it up for Mr. Gerard.
Nice.
Yeah. A FAMU alum doing big things in the community in DC for sure. So Gerard, talk about the competitions, say, give some words of wisdom to your FAMU crew.
So,
come on.
I want to give them honest, actually. And I didn't realize it until I got to the very end that teams number 2, 3, and 4 were all within a two on my scorecard. So like the competition was actually stiff.
Okay.
Which is good news. Like, and it's like unplanned. When I got to the end, I looked back and I was like, wow, like, and the truth is in the real world, you're gonna have stiff competition.
Sure.
Right? You need to bring your A game because others are gonna bring theirs too. And this is the truth. Right now, we're competing for a RFP in Miami. And yesterday we were talking to our local partner and they say, yeah, Related won the last 2. Stiff competition.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Stiff competition, right? And you know what's gonna happen on the next one? Related is gonna bring their A game. You know what I mean? Like there's no pretty words around it, which is they're gonna put all the money and resources to win the next one. And that means I gotta step it up even more so to break in, to elbow my way in to win the next one. So I say all to say you guys did a great job. I was very impressed in the professionalism, and I'm a graduate professor. I did my finals the next week, and I could tell the difference and the hunger from all these HBCU classes versus my students at NYU. That you guys really wanted it.
Okay.
You guys really wanted it. Continue that. Maintain that intensity. You guys did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you. You better be in the passenger seat, man. You in the passenger side?
No, I'm parked right now.
Oh, okay.
And then,
all right.
And then I'm working with Andrew Chen at the School of Architecture to do an event at FAMU this fall. So I'll keep you guys posted. We're trying to do some real estate related something with the school.
Definitely let us know because oh, hold up before you leave. Let us know because Dean Chen, we've already done an event in the architecture building from the real estate club. So we would love to collaborate with y'all as far as you come in and then School of Architecture and then FAMU's real estate club. That would be a great collab. So definitely keep us in the loop. I'll reach out to you after this.
Fantastic. Sounds good. All right. Later, guys.
Have a nice one.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Gerard. So that's the reason why I want to have these follow-up discussions. They're so important because during the event, we're all caught up. You guys are presenting and networking, et cetera. Ali's hosting. I got my video team doing their thing. So it's always good to follow up. That's where the magic really happens. And take that into the rest of your career. After you go to an event or after you present or whatever, hit them with the follow-up. That's when you kind of get the jewels and the gems and the contact information and really build that relationship. That's why we're having this conversation. All right, so back to the conversation. So you all came together, you joined forces. What was that like? Were you studying or were you practicing or prepping in the evenings, on the weekends? Like, take me through that process.
Oh, we were practicing at night. So we would all have a full day. Keanu was a RA. So like he would be at work and we would come while he's working, we would come to him and we would be in there. Like he would be running around doing stuff and then coming in like with us, like work, like all of us really like just put in a lot of extra work after long days. All of us are in organizations. All of us are having a full course load. Ivan works. So did I. Had
internship too.
Yeah. Ivan was working and he had internship. I had an internship. Nina had an internship. We was really busy, but we made time. So every night, well, every other night, I believe it was. Well, toward the end, it was like
Towards-
toward the end.
Yeah, towards the end.
Toward the end, it was every day. So we were just up every night and we were just practicing our presentation. All of us had different roles, of course. And so everybody would come with what they had to do. And then we just collaborate together and work together. And then we began like practicing. And we had a schedule. I'm a big on like, this week we need to be doing this week we need to be doing this. So like toward the end, like the last few weeks, we were just practicing. And we even had a run through with like our friends. So we asked all our friends to come and we presented in front of them before we went to literally the day before we went.
Nice.
Car had to be packed that same night.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what made you all, I understand you said you found this on LinkedIn, but what made you guys commit to a real estate case competition? And what I mean by that is, you know, there's not a lot of those being done. Usually if there's a case competition, it's like maybe marketing, consulting, finance / investment banking / stock pitching. You don't see too many like commercial real estate case competitions, especially for HBCUs. So what made you guys all want to commit to this? You guys all have a low-key interest in commercial real estate?
I think you answered the question. Like, it's not a lot of commercial real estate case competitions out there. All of us are in the real estate. So we have the first ever real estate club at an HBCU. So Club Real, which is Club Real Estate and Leadership. And all of us are members of that. Last year, Keanu, Mina, and I were on eWord. Mina was president. Keanu was over graphics, I was over events, and now moving into the next year, I'm president and Mina is strategic advancement. So all of us are really interested in real estate. And for me, I wanted to join because when Mina said this, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never seen, like, it's like made for us. Like, I literally felt like it was made for us.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we definitely got to do this. And I think that's what made us commit because I'm going to be a real estate developer. Mina wants to work. And she's going to be like develop different hotels. She wants to create boutique experiences. So Ivan and Keanu have interest in real estate as well. So because of that, it's just like, it just made the most sense to us, for us to be able to get into the industry before we even graduate and see what it would actually be like.
Wow. Well, thank you to that man right there, Mr. Ali.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, for me, like to hear you guys say it, that's exactly what it was meant for, to give you guys opportunities where you don't necessarily have those things. It may not be on your campus, but if it's something out there in the world that can give you that experience, you know, and just do it, you know. And I saw Rashmina on LinkedIn. I saw she was a part of Club Real. I said, okay, we definitely got to get a FAMU team on this one. So I said, hey, sign up, do it, whatever you can do, get in and go find your team. And she did it. She came back and they put it on, man. So proud of them.
Wow, that's amazing. So then, okay, so you guys were studying or practicing, presenting. You did a little prep run in front of your classmates. How many classmates did you prep in front of?
12, yeah.
Like 12, I think it was.
Okay. And what was their feedback to you?
Not the best.
We still had, you know, the actual trip to practice and get better and stuff. But they was telling us basically like that we just need to slow down and take our time with the presentation and not try to rush it because we was like real excited about it.
Okay.
But just really feeling it and making it experience so the people can get our story. That was mainly like our feedback.
Right.
Even before we got to the presentation part of it, like they were engaged from day one. You know, we had the knowledge sessions and where they had different corporate speakers and lecturers. Like that part, they were really engaged from day one. I remember Rashmina, I think she asked the most questions out of everybody at every session. And she was present herself so professional. Like every time she would raise her hand on the Zoom, like, I see you got a question. She's like, I'm Rashmina Rashmashami, third year business scholar from university. And she would say it every time, every week. And I said, man, if she get to the end, I said, I got to meet this girl in person.
Awesome. Awesome. Cool. Great feedback. Again, that's why we have these follow-up conversations. All right. So you're flying. First of all, were you looking forward to going to New York City? I mean, it's a little bit of a rhetorical question, but like you're in Florida and you're like, wow, I'm really going to New York. Tell me.
Keanu,
Keanu, I was about to say.
Yeah, I'm a, Florida grown, Florida boy, born and raised. So I ain't never been on a plane before. That was my first time on a plane.
Okay.
First time really across the state far. My furthest travel was Georgia. So, coming into New York, man, I was like, whoa, like it was a big deal for me. And like, even for my family, I told my mom and she's like, oh, wow, you went to the big city. Yeah, da, da, da. So she's all hype and she's like, well, we got to go now. Da, 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 da. So,
Right.
yeah, it was a very big deal. Very big deal.
Wow, that sounds like a Florida boy. Your only travel was Georgia. That's as far as it went, over the line to Georgia. So man, you are
Atlanta.
a boy through and through, man.
Atlanta.
For sure. All right. So tell me, so you guys flew together to New York?
No.
Not initially. Not
What
initially.
happened?
So
I missed the flight.
He was calling her.
We try to
Everybody.
buddy system. We
It
try to
was
do like a
bad.
buddy system.
It was bad. Yeah, we was on buddy system. So I was with Ivan. Mina was with Keanu.
Okay.
And we had practiced the night before and we had to run through. And I did not enjoy the run through. Like I was in a bad mood. And they was like, y'all, we staying up tonight. We gonna stay up. So I'm like, okay, they staying up. I'm gonna stay up too. I gotta pack my stuff, but I shouldn't have stayed up. Like that's not me. I'm not the stay up all night type of person. So I should have took a nap. It's an alarm, but because I thought I was staying up, I did not set an alarm and I ended up falling asleep.
What?
So they were like blowing up my phone, but my phone was on silent. My phone is no longer on silent anymore. After that, I took my phone on silent. My phone is still not on silent to this day. And so I woke up and it was 8:00 in the morning. So our flight was at like 6. But I knew, before I even looked at the time, I knew I had missed the flight because it was so light outside. That in the movies, they be like, no. That was literally me. Like, as soon as I opened my eyes, I didn't even look at the time. When I saw the light, I just hit my bed and I was like, no. So I had to call the airline. I called the airline and I'm like, I need a flight. And they're like, you have to go to Orlando. Like, that's the only way you'll make it before there. So I got in my car. I drove 3 hours to Orlando and I got on my flight. My friend rode with me and drove my car back to Tallahassee so I could fly back with the team. And yeah.
Wow.
Then I made the team. And Mina and Keanu came and picked me up from the airport. I had never been so excited to see people in my life.
That is a story that you only get in a follow-up. That's why we're having this discussion, y'all. That is crazy.
Exclusive from the FAMU team.
That's
seriously.
exclusive.
It's exclusive, right? And what were you guys and gals thinking when she wasn't on your flight? You were like, y'all. What was your reaction?
We all were calling. Everyone, like, we got 100 phone calls.
I didn't want to leave. I kept having hope like she was gonna walk into the airport, or I kept texting her. I kept, something, because I was like, y'all, I don't want to do it without her. Like, this is gonna be, we gotta learn new parts. We missing a teammate. Like, we had curated this whole experience, our matching outfits. Like, none of that would have happened. We would have been missing people, and it just made me sad.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. All right, so the first heat lands into New York, and where do you guys go? What, LaGuardia or which airport you got?
JFK.
JFK, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, JFK. So then you get to the hotel, and then what was your reaction? You're in a big city. Keanu, what's your reaction? You're in what, Times Square, Midtown? What's up?
I couldn't stop looking up. That's the first thing. I was looking at the skies, every building. I'm just like, wow, they're bigger than the movies make them seem. I don't know why.
That's awesome.
So
That's awesome.
See the street first. I think the first spot we went to was we hit Times Square, and then from Times Square we said, well, we're in New York. Where's the pizza? So we're gonna find some pizza.
All right, cool.
That was my first thought. Like, when I seen the itinerary, I was like, I gotta experience. I gotta go somewhere. I'm here.
Yeah.
I gotta get out. I gotta go to Times Square. And we were driving. Like, they told us, yeah, it's right there. So I was like, yeah, are we packing up? We gonna get Taj? We gonna handle that? But we traveling. Like, we wanted to see, experience the city.
Okay.
That was definitely like the thought.
when we did the knowledge sessions, you know, everybody gave their presentations online for the first round where we determined who was the final four.
Yeah.
We did 2 days of presentation. So we split up, I think it was like 6 one day and 5 or 6 the next day.
Okay.
This group, they was on the first group. So all of the judges, after they watched everybody, and they were like, you know, if you watch so many presentations, you know, you kind of want to just say, hey, you know, be done with it and keep going. So
yeah,
towards the end, like, okay, we got a rubric, everybody go back, you know, fill out the rubric, your judging rubric, and then present, give your send it in tomorrow, then we'll tally up the numbers and all that. And I was just like, hey, let's just while we right here, why don't we just make a decision, because the FAMU team just blew everybody's socks off in that first round. So I was like, it's clear that they need to go to the next round. And they was like, you right. So, that's kind of how it went in terms of their presentation on the first day. So even before they got to New York, they was already had a leg up on their presentation in terms of bringing their A game, like Gerard said.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Appreciate that, man. And so, okay, so I have this itinerary. Can you all see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so best way to talk about your days in New York, let's walk through it. So day one, you get everybody's in New York, thankfully, and then you get in your hotel, and then you're checking out Times Square. You got a dinner to go to. Where was the dinner at?
So the dinner was at the Ritz, and by the time I got there, it was like maybe 2 hours before we had to go. So we came back and we had already had it planned. We was all gonna be matching. So we put all our little brown suits on. We was giving the pretty much melanin.
Melanin.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we went to the Ritz. Y'all talk about it. How y'all was feeling?
Man, it was definitely an experience. I think, like, I loved first of all, I love the coordination. I love how we like came. I think that was like an awesome way to present ourselves. So like how we came was good, and then just being there was exciting. I think first I want to kind of thank the graduate students for putting on such a great event. You know, like our liaison, Ariana, she was like awesome throughout the whole process. Like the courses, it was like a 5-course meal. Wow. Yeah, they had like drinks, and it was just like the ultimate experience that you could think of, like pampering, like in New York. Like that was the place to be that night, I think.
For sure.
It definitely was. And shout out to Ari, because at the time I was fasting. So I was only eating fruits and vegetables, and she made the whole entire menu for the Ritz. And she had such good options for us to eat that were vegan friendly. And I really, really appreciated that. It's like, it was just like, they really catered the whole experience to us. And she picked out the menu, and it was really, really good. Like, we ate good that night, and we met so many different people. The networking was amazing. And I love how when we first walked in, it was like networking. And we got to meet Daisy. She was speaking to us. And then they were like, okay, now we're gonna go in here. And then we went in, they opened the doors, and it's a whole nother beautiful room. And we walked in there, and it's food laid out on the table. It was really, really nice.
Wow, so you guys had an experience for real.
For sure.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And so, okay, so you're networking at the Ritz, which is not a light thing. That's heavy. That's super. So they did a great job with that. And that's just day one. So then day two, let's talk about that. What is this sponsored corporate office tours? Where'd you guys go? Which one were you guys at? The BRE Hotel Resort?
Yes.
Okay.
Really, really nice. So the day before, we had met some of the team members at the dinner, and they were just really, really sweet. And we were able to just learn more about like the hospitality side of commercial real estate, which is definitely like, God just made everything happen for a reason, because the internship that I had at the time was a hotel investments internship. So I was like learning a lot of this stuff that they was talking about, and I was able to see like from a smaller organization how it looks in a bigger organization, and just see how everything connected. And everybody was just so welcoming, and I was so happy because I'll be fighting for hospitality. I feel like when people think commercial real estate, they want to do apartments and stuff like that. And I've been fighting for it. And Taja saw, and she liked hospitality, and I was just so excited that everybody got to like learn the different parts of real estate and just kind of find out what they like and stuff. But it was really, really nice, and everybody was helpful, answering all our questions and giving us a better understanding of like hospitality in general.
So you guys were literally just walking around the corporate offices, shaking hands, waving. They were talking to you in the conference room, I would assume.
So we were in the conference room. They had a presentation for us. They fed us, and like they went through all their different locations that they had. And I don't know, I really feel like this whole entire thing, like Mina said, God really catered this whole thing to us, like the whole entire experience. Like, no, seriously, from the beginning, when we even got the flyer, like feeling like it was made for us. And then when we saw that we were going to be going to BRE Hotel and Resorts, like Mina loves hospitality. Like she said, she was already in there and she been advocating for it. So it was just amazing to see how everything kind of worked together. And when we went there, it was really nice. Like the presentation they had, it was super good. Like they broke down and explained different stuff.
Right.
And like she said, they answered all of our questions. And for me, I think that was good because me, Keanu, and Ivan, we didn't really have as much background in hospitality as Nina did. So our questions were a little different than hers. Like they weren't as in depth or like just as far as like understanding stuff, but they made sure we understood everything. So that was really nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And we also got to see kind of like the different levels of the people there. So we saw like the associate who was just finishing school, and then like mid-level, like executive. So we got to see like the kind of different steps in the office.
Okay. That's awesome. And I want to reiterate, follow up. They gave you their card, shoot them an email, just chat with them. Sometimes these relationships, you'll find that, especially in commercial real estate, takes about 6 months to a year to get anything done, whether it's a job, whether it's a deal, whether it's whatever it may be, a coffee chat. Stay connected. With the Zoom, you guys can easily tap in, and because you have that familiarity with these folks, this is not a small shop. These are the who's who of what they do. So it's a great inside connection to have. And again, thanks to Ali and his team for setting it up for you all. All right, so then you get on the bus and you drive over to Essex Crossing. What was that like?
Expensive. Expensive. They had us kind of tour different apartments, beautiful apartments.
Okay.
And like we saw like the different rooms and like the prices for the room, and it was kind of just giving us the rundown of that.
Okay.
On the trip.
Okay. So you met the folks at Goldman Sachs?
Yeah, we did. I really enjoyed this tour. Like it was, because this is kind of what I want to do. So like they were talking about how they bought out like a bunch of different blocks, and they're redoing the whole entire thing, and they're making like an underground network from the Essex market to the Essex hotels. Essex apartment complexes and office buildings.
Right.
And so it was really cool for me to see, because I love stuff like that. Like the market, it was everything. It was so many different vendors in there, like that was set up, and they just had like just different food places. You also had like just a coffee vibe, like where you could just sit and do your work underground. It was like different food places, and it was really, really cool because it reminded me of Ponce City Market, but 10 times better, like honestly and truly, because it was so much bigger. It was just so cool. And
10 times, hold on, talk about pause. 10 times better.
I said it.
Okay. All right.
It was, because it was, I don't know, it was just such a vibe, like seriously. And then we left there and we like kept walking down to where they're doing like the different development. And they're like, yeah, all these blocks, like we're gonna take all this and change it. And I love rehab development. Definitely on this trip, it made me like, coming into the trip, I'm like, I think I want to do this in real estate. I think I want to do this in real estate. But like after the trip, I'm like, this is what I want to do in real estate. And I knew the route that I wanted to go into. Like I want to go into rehab development, affordable housing. And they talked about like, they just hit so many different things on the whole entire time we were there, from affordable housing to hospitality to rehab development to just office spaces and different things like that. And it just gave a wide range for everybody to have their interests talked about, I guess you could say.
Which group in Goldman Sachs was this like the urban investment group?
I believe it was somebody from the urban investment group, but I know it was 4 different people. So all of them were in different groups.
Okay, and then after that, We still in day 2. After that, you had this Titans of Real Estate Conference.
Mhm. That conference I felt like was very like insightful to the industry, just to hear people, especially people who founded like the Baker program,
Mhm.
people, and get their insight on just what their life was before real estate was a thing at Cornell and how they navigated the industry and stuff like that. And
Right.
not to mention the professor, I think it was Professor Cody. He was
Okay.
there. I really enjoyed him, and they were just so nice, and not only helping their students like learn the network, but helping us network and connect with each other, which was very impactful and powerful throughout that conference. Or yeah.
Awesome. That sounds good. Anybody else have any statements about the conference?
I was gonna say, and also the owner of Saks Fifth, he was there and he was talking to us about how he made Saks Fifth is one brand, but it's 11 different businesses. And I was like I feel like it was just like really good gems being dropped about how like you can take one thing and make it so many different streams of income. And I really did enjoy that. But I also wanted to note that I liked how the Cornell students were there with us at everything that we went to. So it was an experience for us, but it was also an experience for them. I know they probably always do stuff like that, but it was good having them there so you can see how they interact with people and what they're being taught like in their program.
Right.
And like just those soft skills. And so I really enjoyed the fact that they were there at everything with us.
Shout out to the Cornell students. Okay. And then coming up, we had the okay, so then what happens after? So I'm gonna stop sharing. I just want to kind of go through those first, get into New York, day 1, Ritz, day 2, the office tours, as well as the apartment tour, and then still day 2, a conference. My gosh. And then so what happens after the conference? What happens after that? 7 o'clock, you guys go back to the hotel, you go out to eat, you go to party. What happens that night?
We went to CVS, I think.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah, we took a walk to CVS and kind of practiced a run on the way to CVS.
Okay. So y'all was staying
we
focused. I like it.
we stay locked in. So we was
Okay.
locked in, LinkedIn, it's all the same stuff. So yeah. We was on the way though, and we were just practicing, and we came back to the hotel, and we were just running through that whole night, just running through until we felt like we were at a point like, hey, we done ran through to a point that, we don't want to over run through, you know what I'm saying? So that's what we kind of do.
That's what's up. Anything else happened that night, or you guys just went to bed and then got up in the morning?
He was tired.
Yeah, I can imagine. They ran you through.
Yeah, we were very tired.
We were tired. Like by the time we ended up practicing, it was like, it's time to go get into bed. For real. We got to get up early in the morning.
Yeah. But that's good. That means you guys are having a great experience. Cornell is not only are they pampering you, they're also pushing you, to have an amazing experience with all these amazing corporations. Like I said, follow up with BRE, follow up with the Goldman Sachs folks. Not many people, especially from certain schools or certain areas or backgrounds, whatever, get those type of invitations or exposure and build those relationships. So definitely follow with those folks. Okay, so let's go into day 3. What happened in day 3, the big day, game day? You all were the first team up.
Yeah.
Was we? Oh yeah, we were.
Throughout all the panel discussions, I mean, they were asking them and all the students were asking some real tough, insightful questions to all the panelists. And you just knew, like Keanu said, like they were locked in on not just giving their presentations and winning the case, but soaking up everything that this experience offered them. So even the day before at the Titans Real Estate Conference when Richard Baker was talking, they would get up and all of them just ask question after question after question. And you got somebody from undergrad. You start thinking about the questions that you asked speakers at an undergrad, you were like, okay, I could have came up with that one, but they really wanted to know. They was hungry. They was just pulling out information.
Yeah.
So they were really soaking it up. And then, like you said, they was the first ones to present.
Yeah, so tell me about that presentation. How did it go? I watched it. So I want to hear what your experience was first.
For me, before we get into that, I want to say like about when Ali just said about like us just being locked into what the thing had to offer. I think before we went, we were just focused on winning. Like I just like, we want to win. We coming to New York to win. And then like when we got there and we weren't really focused, for me, I was just focused on taking everything in. And I think I'm glad, I was talking to Ari about this before we left, but I'm glad they packed out the days with different stuff, because we weren't really focused on, like, we were practicing, of course, like at night and stuff, but we weren't really focused on that. Like it was just focused on taking in our environment, connecting with different people, asking questions, and just being a sponge and soaking up everything, because they put so much in front of us to learn from. And so like even how before we presented, they had the different chats, the different panels and stuff, it really just kind of eased my mind, at least going into the presentation, because I really wasn't worried about it, because like regardless of what, like whether we won or not, we got so much from the experience itself.
I seen everybody's presentation online before during the first round, so I knew what everybody had to bring. And I knew this team right here, I was like, oh, okay, they coming with some heat. Okay. You know, so when they came up first, I was like, all right, I'm gonna see what they're gonna do. And like I said, they did great on the online presentation, but then they came up, they're like, we from FAMU. Then they came out with pamphlets, you know, and they started passing them around. I said, oh, that's a game changer right there. They come with the literature, you know, so it was real. Right. You know, so they started passing about our development, then they got into their presentation, they went into it. I was like, all right, they really put it on right there.
Okay.
Yeah. The pamphlets actually came from a friend of mine. He just finished a stock analysis case study in Massachusetts. Okay. And he was talking about like what they were doing and like what the other teams brought. And he was like, yeah, one of them groups had pamphlets. And I was like, bad idea. And I brought it back to the team. They're like, not a bad idea. So then we started like planning the pamphlets and how we were going to put like what data we wanted to put on there. Like I think we had like a marketing portion, right? And then we had like a financial portion, and we just wanted to separate ourselves. I think that's what the goal with the pamphlet was, to separate ourselves from the different groups and just have like just be innovative and see, you know, how creative we could be.
And I think
I still got mine, guys.
I got mine too. Yeah, I think also to interact with the crowd, because I think when you're doing like a presentation, especially in development, you're trying to sell your development to the crowd. Like you're trying to present your plan and like, this is my plan. I want to win this bid to be able to do this. So a good way to do that is by giving them stuff and connecting with them. And I feel like for me, like I said, this is something I want to do in the future. So I wanted to take it as like, this is like the real deal. Like I'm gonna do this for real, like preparing me for it. And that's just something like for people I'm presenting in front of, what would I want? What kind of experience would I want them to have? And Mina is all about creating an experience. So when I've been presented that to us, we like, yeah, that's the one. And Keanu
it immediately hooked them in, and like it gave somebody actual physical conception of the idea that you were presenting. So as you were presenting, you know, you could reference back to the pamphlet in the images that you guys had. So it's just an immediate connection. So it was just an immediate hook. So that was a great idea.
That's crazy that you said that, because how you just described that is how Keanu described it when he was like, that's what we should do. And he literally said like, it gives a physical thing for them to connect and look at, because Keanu is into marketing. So he was really good with like, just basically saying how like you guys would perceive that from a marketing standpoint. Like he literally said exactly what you said. He just said.
Good job, smart man.
Yeah,
I'll say even when we first started handing them out, I think it really did add a personal touch. You know, instead of a person up on the stage presenting, you're a person right in your face, handing them a pamphlet and saying, hey, good morning, giving them a smile, looking them in their eyes. And it creates that personal connection beyond just, you know, a presentation. So
for sure. So then take me through the presentation. So I watched it. You guys are developing the escape. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys had the retail, the office, the hotel, of course the hotel had to be in there. You had a transit line that was you know, not too far, trying to help the people of Toronto area escape. You know, you guys had the green rooftops. You guys went all in your concepts. I really liked it. I can't wait for the rest of the folks viewing this video to see it when it does come out. But tell me how you guys put that together, as far as, you know, this is the plan we're gonna present.
So first we looked at the site, And then we looked at what they have around it, and we just all began working together, just to kind of create something. Keanu, do you want to speak about how you like looked at like trends and stuff?
Yeah, so we really just had started by looking at the trends in the area and seeing what was actually wanted in the area. So we seen green rooftops, we seen sustainability. Obviously, that was a key portion of the presentation and the case. But then we took that next level to say, hey, presentation wise, color wise, how do we want to line this up? You know, and on top of that, I don't know exactly when we came up with the escape, but then we shortened it to the ESC to kind of give that modern feel, you know, the escape on the keyboard.
Okay,
So,
okay.
I like that.
you know, it's layers, So we thought down to the different layers and everything, and we kind of just really thought out every single step of the way.
And I think another big thing that we were looking at was like who is in the area. So like Kiana was doing research on the trends, like is it young families, is it older families, is it kids in the families, just different avenues on how we wanted to kind of facilitate it throughout the presentation, like who we were trying to appeal to in the area.
And
Yeah,
then
you see that. My bad, you good.
I was gonna say we also looked at market trends. So like seeing like tech was booming in the area, healthcare was booming in the area, and just kind of seeing like what were already booming in Toronto, even though it wasn't in Toronto. It was close to that. So like seeing what people, like what are the driving factors of the market. And so we based that upon the escape, like what is driving, what do the people want, and who's around. And then like Keanu mentioned, like sustainability and the green rooftops and the laminated timber, the city policies for Toronto in that area, they're really big on sustainability. So we wanted to make sure that we could connect with the city plan, because if you're connecting with what the city wants, then 9 times out of 10, they're going to push your backyard project, because of the fact you have those markers that they're looking to see when they see the city moving forward, where our development is bringing that, like headed in that direction.
Yeah, you guys all had
That's exactly how we ended up discovering the incentives on the Toronto page. So it was kind of hard to, you know, realize that you're going to have to research outside of America. So it's like you're not in North America, USA right now. You're researching Canada. So we just kind of went on the Toronto page and we seen those trends and we found that incentive, and we seen that the city plan was in perfect sync with our plan. So it kind of just perfectly lined up.
Okay. And then you guys had 2 hotel brands. You had IHG and Indigo, and you had the Choice Hotel. Which one did you guys choose, or those are the 2 that you were presenting as the brands that will be a part of the project?
Those were like the 2 that we were presenting to be like a choice. So we really wanted to, even though a lot of Toronto's policies were centered around sustainability, we still wanted to highlight an experience and something to help people kind of like rejuvenate. The tech is booming in Toronto, like 10 minutes away. The finance is booming. You working all day at these computers. Like at least you could work all day at the computers by the plants or something, by some clean air or a green rooftop, something to get you, you know, wanting to work or wanting to just feel better. And so that's what we really wanted to do when we chose those brands, because both of those brands are like traveler brands that curate to the customer's experience and connecting to the community, especially IHG's Hotel Indigo. They really try to blend themselves into the community. So it's not like a big like Hotel Indigo sign. They'd be like, this is the hotel, this is the brand. Like each hotel is different and curated for where it's at. And that's what we really wanted to bring, like not only highlight the Humber Bay community and Toronto not being far away, but to also like show pride for the development that we have built ourselves and highlight sustainability and just connection with yourself, your earth, God, if you believe in God, and all of that stuff.
Wow, so you guys are just having this whole thing go full circle.
Approach, I like it.
Earth, the wind, fire, God, the building.
Very cyclical, very.
All right, that's awesome. So then overall, like how was your, so the I guess the event ended And then how was your feelings about the presentation and the overall event itself?
For me, I felt like the presentation went really good. I was very proud of everybody.
Yeah.
I think going into it, it's like at the beginning, we was like, okay, this is like we highlighted as a team, like our strengths and our weaknesses and what we felt like we would need help with and what we felt like, you know, we could kind of carry on. And I think when we presented, like for me personally, I was very nervous to present. Like I was like, y'all, I'm scared. I don't want to get up there and be laughing because I forgot something. Like I'm very like, I have a nervous laugh. So if I get nervous, I'll just start laughing. And so I was like, I'm just very, very like, ugh.
Yeah.
But I can really see like personal development for myself when I presented. I was very calm and I spoke clearly. And it was very good to see like, because I was so calm, I was able to see my teammates next to me and I wasn't in my head about it. So like seeing all of them present and all of them just kind of from what we practiced and what we actually did and how it all came together, it was really, really good. And it was just so funny, like after we presented and we were looking at some of the pictures and we was talking about like what we knew was going on, but everybody else probably didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And it was this one thing came up where one of the words he said that we was gonna say like, as like a pass-off word, Ivan, he didn't say it. You could see Keanu was like looking at him like,
Keanu was looking
where
at
the word at?
She was like, you gonna say it?
Yes, but they literally took a picture of that moment. So it was just so funny for us to be able to like go back and kind of just have memories, I guess you could say, and be like, this what that was, this and the third. So I really enjoyed it and I'm so proud of my team. Everybody worked so hard and we wouldn't have been able to do it without everybody. Like each and every person brought something different to the table. So I really appreciate y'all and I love y'all.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
This
That's
is
awesome.
a great experience. Like it kind of made me want to cry because I'm seeing everybody on the screen. It just made me relive it. But I think like this was a great like moment for our team and bonding. Like we knew each other within the real estate and leadership club, but we didn't really know each other for real. And this experience really brought us closer. Like we had so many laughs, so many like memories, and just experiencing with new people too, like seeing how we interact with different people and how we just move around a new city. And that was just so fun to see. And even the presentation, like how we all present, I felt like we learned, like Taja did great on her part and she really did, like she said, that personal development, like she really stood up and she did her thing. So and everybody did as well. And it was just like seeing how we started and then how we ended, like from the very beginning to the end. It was definitely growth for everybody. And I think we all did amazing. And I was just so grateful for the experience, like all together.
And I just kind of want to touch on like too the networking aspect. Like any of these, for me to call on me, Keanu, any of them call on my phone, they need anything. Like they need, you know, hey Ivan, I need this job in 10 years, or Ivan, I need, like I'm looking out for them just because I know their work ethic and like how they could just come together to put something together. And I really appreciate all of you guys for giving me a great experience with the case study too.
Wow. No, for real. I just feel like everything that we put together just kind of, you know, materialized at the end. And we really just, we knew what we wanted to put together. We knew how we wanted to portray it. We knew how we wanted to present it. But then the time came and it's like, okay, now the nerves working up, but it's all about, you know, we worked hard at that start. We prepared, we just practiced, we practiced. It's like, you know, how can you be so nervous for something you were so ready for? You know what I'm saying? So we just, we just kind of took it on and I think everybody, you know, excel at doing exactly their part. And I will say Taja, we spoke on it, but Taja did we spoke about it after. I was like, Taja, dang.
Yeah,
like,
she came, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, she came through. She's good on business.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Oh, thank you. But I also want to say, like, it was good for us to be able to connect with other teams. Like some of the teams that we met, I still talk to them to this day. And like one of the Spelman team, they're from Atlanta. So when I went home, I hung out with them and it was really fun. And then also like the overall experience, just from being pampered, like you said, to being pushed and to the end result, it was just all really, really, really good. And we just really are so grateful for it. And we just really appreciate it. Like, and like you said, Mina, it's just making me want to cry because like we're reliving the experience now. Cause like after it happened, we had finals. So like we just went about our life. So like this is really a good catch up, like prepare for internship, going different places. All of us are different places now. So like this is really a good catch up to kind of see the team again and like just kind of go back over it. But everybody is a superstar. Like everybody did their thing. Like I was like proud of myself in the end, but like just looking back on it, like everybody, each one of my teammates had their like moment where it was just like their time to shine. Like overall, all of us shine together, but like I can just think of each moment where like you did your thing, like for Keanu, Mina, Ivan, like you, like all of us had that moment through this. You can just see how much we grew from like beginning to start. It wasn't just one person. It was like all of us had so much personal development from networking, like when people like networking with different people, going up to people and talking to people, to asking questions, to the presentation, to afterwards following up, like all of us really were superstars. So I'm just so happy to have had the experience, especially with them.
Awesome.
Just to touch on that networking some more, networking really makes the world a smaller place, like very small, but you realize how small it is because it turns out that a person at NCA&T, who was a team that we met, one of the team members, I met him and it was, you network and you know him and, you connect and everything. But then now on my internship at International Paper in Memphis, I meet this other dude who's in NCA&T, and then he tells me his frat, and I'm like, I think that's the fraternity of the other person. And then I told him his name. He's like, oh yeah, that's my line brother. I'm like, yeah, whoa, that's crazy. So yeah,
I gotta add a networking. My bad, Keanu. I gotta add a networking experience too. So like, I needed. I'm taking a real estate course this summer, and I didn't have my school balance cleared. So I went to look at the classes and I looked at the class and I was like, it's full, I can't take it. And then I was like, wait, Washington? Our teacher, John Washington, our advisor is the teacher of the class. Wow. Right? So I just called his phone. I'm like, hey, Mr. Washington, you think you can get me in this class? I'm trying to make sure I graduate on time. He was like, yeah, let me make some calls. So he calls the dean. He calls Friday Stroud, our dean, and then they let me in the class for the summer. So that's just like a testament of, you putting in work and someone appreciating that, and then it just rolling over and coming full circle. So that is the network.
So Ivan, the viewers is going to see this. They don't know who Mr. Washington is. Tell them who he is.
He was our advisor for the trip. So he was like with us throughout the entire trip and watching over us and stuff like that.
So that's another important point. Not only did they fly all of you all and the rest of the teams, they also had, each team had an advisor flying as well. Yeah. That's taking care of the family for sure. Oh man, so as we wind it down now, I think I appreciate you guys for giving me your hour on a Saturday morning. Two things. What's the name of this real estate club at FAMU? You said it's the first ever.
It's the first ever real estate club at an HBCU. It's Club Real, REAL, Real Estate and Leadership. Check it out. Follow our Instagram. Y'all shout our Instagram out.
Club Real FAMU. With
Club Real FAMU. Follow us if you want to come.
Have a link. You guys have a LinkedIn page, or Rashmina must have posted something about Club Real. I said, they got a real estate club like down there. So I said, we definitely got to get a group from down there.
Okay. So Club Real is doing big things. Y'all definitely check Club Real out.
I'm glad you said that.
Make sure you shout it out. I'm going to be president next semester. I'm very excited. Still on Ebor. We got to have her. And we got some big things in store. And we would love to have some of the connections that we made. We're going to be in the process of reaching out to them to actually come and visit us at FAMU. So this was a great experience for me, especially coming into my presidency. I had just found out. So coming into presidency and then meeting all these different connections. And I'm like, this person comes to club, this person comes to club, this person comes to club. Like, y'all can come talk to us. It was so great. Like,
right. Well, second question. Will we see another team from FAMU in next year's competition?
Better.
Maybe. Look, maybe. You know how people
Don't say maybe. Y'all better put a team together.
No, I'm just playing. Definitely. I was trying to leave some suspense. Maybe you might.
Mysterious.
Yeah, mysterious.
Okay. And I got one last add-on question. Would you recommend this experience to other HBCUs?
Oh yes, everybody, any person. Like, man, this was like an amazing experience, like through and through. Just
Okay.
like we were talking about, the pampering, the just taking care of, us as, students, humans, anything. It was just amazing to make us feel like more than students at moments. We're not just students, we're humans, we're adults in this world, and we're functioning beings. And it kind of gets you into that feeling that we're walking around suits in New York. So we at multiple times we would look over at like somebody, we're like, oh yeah, we could tell they do real estate. Like, it's just look at that, you see that.
Tell the story.
We say that all the time. We had the story, yeah. So it was pretty much we literally seen these dudes hopping out of a Escalade, I believe it was like a black Escalade,
Blacked out.
and blacked out Escalade, like 4 dudes, and they had sweater vests on, and the button ups, and we said, we know they do real estate. Let's just might as well introduce ourselves. So we walked up to them, and this was like first day, like Mina was saying. We walked up to them and said, hey, we just seen you guys, and we wondering what you guys do, and and they pretty much said they do real estate, and I think they were from like New Zealand or something. They were from out of state doing real estate. Netherlands, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
What an experience. Well, look, I feel like after all this content comes out, after people see this discussion, you guys will be able to see this discussion on YouTube when I post it. People are going to watch this stuff. So there's going to be a good amount of views, and people are going to get interested. And now that people hear about the experience and what goes all into the planning and the project and the presentations, this is going to be a stiff competition next year and the year after, et cetera. So, people will be like, oh, we got people over at, name your agency, Alabama A&M, Grambling. Even if they don't have a real estate program, guess what? They're like, oh, we gonna get a real estate program just to go to New York and get that pampering that they got, right? That's the reason to start one.